What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we are talking about MicroStrategy, MSTR. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. Here we are, free falling at $304.77 right now. You're down about 5.7% on this glorious Thursday, the 25th of September. That's what they call a gap down right there. That's a gap down. Now, I would believe, I do believe that MicroStrategy will come back and fill this gap, or sorry, strategy will come back and fill this gap. It'll come back and fill that gap. These gaps it'll come back and fill this gap. You've got gaps to the upside, gaps galore. You're going to fill them. But you got a gap all the way back here from July, and you still haven't filled that one. You don't need to fill this one tomorrow, okay? It's probable that you do go lower, and we'll go over why. First and foremost, actually, on that note, let's pull up the fibs. From a low here to a high, your golden ratio retracement is just a little bit lower than what you've seen so far today. Something at $300 to $285. Man, $285, that's crazy. That is crazy that MSTR is offering an opportunity around, if not even just below $300. That's pretty crazy. Could you go lower? Absolutely. Absolutely you could go lower. Perhaps we go down to 267, 250 at the lowest. Time will tell. I don't know if we get that low, but time will tell. What I think needs to happen is, regardless of the price here, we're going to keep moving down until the open interest for calls, until the calls come down, man. Until puts outweigh calls, until the short interest outweighs the long interest, we're going to continue moving down, right? We look at these charts here. It always loads well, but then whenever I click view all expiries, it just takes forever. Mark my words. Oh, see, it didn't take that long this time, actually. It's still, haha, there we go. Got me. Psyched me out. It's going to load in just a second. 3, 2, right there. Yeah, you can see here that the call to put ratio is 0.5. For those of you that don't know what that means, that's bad. If you want to see the price grow, that's bad. The price can grow and the calls can outweigh the puts, but not normally. That's not normally what happens. And MicroStrategy, MSTR, the calls have outweighed the puts ever since we've been in this range. People are wondering why we're not moving up. It's because there's more money to be made for the price to be stagnant and moving down than there is for it to be moving up. Moving up, people are going to be winning bets. They're going to be cashing out, right? This is not the people who are doing this. They're not in it because they're in it for the long term for MSTR. They're in it to make a profit off of MSTR. Until those people go away or at least get severely wrecked, MicroStrategy is going to keep doing what it does, which is just move down and be boring. We have to clear out all these. The reason why, even in the midst of this stagnation, even since November of 2024, here we are a near year later, not moved anywhere, only moved down, if anything. Just moving sideways. The reason why the calls outweigh the puts so much is because we know that MSTR's success is dictated by Bitcoin's success. We know that MSTR has only added a tremendous amount more of Bitcoin between this point and this point. So from a fundamental basis, MSTR is more valuable now than it was back here. So we know that it's inevitable that the price is going to go up. But we also know that we're over leveraged. Very, very far over leveraged, man. And we look at this. Look at how many calls and puts are set for the end of this year, you guys. MSTR will keep moving sideways. It'll keep moving down. It'll disappoint everybody until there's no one left to disappoint, right? Until all we have is just regular shareholders, not calls and puts being put into place here. When the call to put ratio is at least neutral, we're at a 1 or higher, ideally higher, that's when it's time to get excited, right? Just like back here. Back here, it was time to get excited because we had the call to put ratio above a 1 for the first time throughout this whole downtrend. Now, dude, it's just, we're waiting. It's because everybody's anticipating the inevitable, which is that MicroStrategy will see new all-time highs. Sorry, I keep calling it MicroStrategy. Strategy. We're at $300 now. It's not micro anymore. It's moving up. It will see new all-time highs. But it's because of that very knowledge that we all have. It's not a guess. MSTR will see new all-time highs. It will see $1,000 by the end of the cycle. It's not a guess. The only guess is when. Right? And because it's not a guess, because everybody has such strong conviction, the market is actually there to take money from you, not make money for you, right? We're not just going to give a pass for anybody and everybody who thinks they know what they're doing to make money. And really, I guess the puts have been having it since July here. It looks like we're probably still going to keep moving down. So that's why I think this open interest here, this is why we're moving down. This is why, simply put. And the scary thing here, shouldn't just be, because typically what happens is you have the most puts and calls the week that you're currently in, and then it dies down as time goes on. But we're coming up to the end of the year, guys. We're coming up to the end of the year. There's a massive amount of calls and puts here, and you can see here the put to call ratio is 1.18. That's good. There's more puts over here than there are calls. That's great. That's good. That does foreshadow good things. There's a lot of calls that outweigh the puts here leading up to that, but by the very beginning of 2026, the puts outweigh the calls. That makes me think that going into January, we're going to see some bullishness. Going into the end of December, we're probably going to see some bullishness too. But as far as I'm concerned, up until December 19th, we're going to be stagnant and moving sideways or moving down because there's too many calls put out there right now. There are too many calls. We got to clear out all these calls. We have to decimate them, and the only way to do that is doing this. That's the only way to do it. The last time that the put to call ratio was above a 1 on the current week was back here. Not up here. Not here. Not over here. It was down at the low. And pain, despair, that's what gets that's what curbs their enthusiasm. So I do believe that we are going to go lower. We're very near the golden ratio now, but we're just not quite there yet. The lowest I'd see us going is 250. Imagine how unenthusiastic the market would be about MSTR if we were down at 250. People would think that Michael Saylor is a chump, that this thing's broken. He's going to be laughing it all the way to the bank because he's going to still be selling his shares to buy more BTC. That's all he's going to be doing and adding value to the project. The whole reason why people are bullish on MSTR is because of what it is, and people hate that he hits the ATM to buy more Bitcoin for the company. He's making the company more valuable. More Bitcoin in their reserves. When Bitcoin goes up in value equals more value here, right? But again, we know that. In fact, we know that so well that we're foolishly long right now. Until the fools go away, this thing's going to keep doing that. That's all I'm trying to say here, okay? We look at the indicators now. Enough talk. Let's talk. Daily RSI is bearish, stochastics are bearish, the MACD is bearish. It's easy to see. Right? Below the zero, bearish. Building bullish momentum, you didn't get anything out of it, bearish. Long drives of bearish momentum instead of bullish momentum, bearish. Stochastics couldn't even get overbought, but you're getting oversold continuously, bearish. And the RSI provided a higher high here while providing a lower high in the price, bearish. Getting oversold, not getting overbought, bearish. Bearish on all accounts. We look at this from a low here to a high. Just crossing through the threshold of the golden ratio. The next target area would be 290 to 281. 289 to 281 technically. Could we go lower? Yes. Will we find support in this area? I think so. But this is what will tell us. This is what will tell us, I think. Let's see, what's Max Payne say? I feel like the Max Payne on this isn't accurate. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, I don't know. Let's see, expiration date. Let's go tomorrow. Max Payne would be higher. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's do by October. Yeah, October 3rd. Sure, let's do that. Get more with option charts premium. Thank you. I would. It's higher. Interesting. I don't believe that. Yeah, like something's off about that. You know what I mean? How are there more puts? How are there more calls than puts, but Max Payne is high? That I don't know. Not that can't be. I don't know. It's not that Max Payne can't be higher. Sorry, that sounded wrong, actually. That sounded ignorant, because there can be more calls than puts, but if the Max Payne is higher, you're still, I mean, clearly here, you're still out of the money for a lot of these calls, all of them, but then you're also out of the money for a lot of these puts too. So I'm sorry, that sounded ignorant whenever I said that. But still, I don't think, just because Max Payne's here, I don't think that means that we have to go higher. January 16th here. Current price is here. Max Payne's at $106. Yeah. We could go lower, guys. We could go a lot lower. I don't think we're going to go that low, though. No. Yeah, wow. Wow, Max Payne is way, way down there for some of these. That's nice to see, though. For the most part, up until really November there, the end of November, Max Payne is actually higher, it seems. So that's good. Oh, except for that one there. But these expires probably don't matter as much. Anyways, guys, I'm just talking now. Let's finish this up. All in all, 290, 280. 250 at the lowest. That's probably where we're going to go. We're going to pay attention to the open interest here for sure. From a high, oh, that was not the high. Let's get it. From a high to a low of this overall range, my expectation is we do not take out these lows. Look at that, 280 comes up again right there. Perfect. It's so perfect. 786 down to the 236. It's perfect. How many times have we talked about that thing happening actually? Maybe not in these videos, but in various crypto videos, I've talked about that exact dynamic. 786 to the 236. Bounce from there, go all the way up to your 1272, up to your 1618 and beyond. The 1618 is at $1,000, $919. The 1886200 level is at about $1,100 to $1,200. Okay. MSTR is likely going to top off somewhere in this area, if not higher, by the end of this year. Probably not by the end of October, but by the end of this year, we're going to get there. Okay. And I would think that going into January, you'll probably have your cycle ending finale. January or February, but I'm thinking January. That's when everything will top off. So going into the end of this year, going into, as long as things go well, as long as as long as things don't go well, as long as we clear out a lot of these calls, I think that things will start to shape up in a good way. Things will start to shape up in a good way, but time will tell. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.